Hello, Sterling White here, and I wanted to provide you a quick experience share. Just had a guest on the podcast, The Real Estate Experience. If you haven't already, you'll want to check out that top rated podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, World Star Hip Hop. Just kidding, definitely not on World Star Hip Hop. But we went on the path of on discussing mindset, which is one thing I find fascinating, especially when I started on the journey in my early 20s of really on the self-improvement side and shedding limiting beliefs that I had and forming new empowering ones. And still to this day, of course, I still have limiting beliefs that I'm ultimately trying to figure out what those are and replace those with even more empowering ones. So if you're just now coming across me, just want to give you some context on myself. Yes, I am bald and I do have a nice little glare that's going on because it's a clean shave. But born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana, and comment below and let me know where you are from too. Those of you who are on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be informed of when I drop these absolute bombs. But born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana, and not so good parts of the city. Single mother, father wasn't around much. I would say very non-existent. Fraternal twin brother. Grew up in Section 8 housing and other type of government assistance. And anything above beyond just the standard living, I had to figure out a way to earn money. So that's where the whole entrepreneurship spirit came into existence. First product was Kool-Aid, second was Pokemon cards, and transition how I got started in real estate was in 2009. My roommate at the college I went to was dad owned a construction company, so I had some free time, and that's how I got my foot into the door. Fell in love with the industry, the real estate industry as a whole, but not the construction. I was a laborer, huge grind, and great respect for those guys. Shout out to AP for getting me started in the industry. And through that ended up finding a mentor who I started working with that person for completely free, learned so much, was able to get my very first deal through that at 23 years old, no money out of pocket. Scaled up to 150 single families, just under, and then ended up transitioning to multifamily just several years ago. And so through that is total valuation of portfolio to date is just over 18.9 million and just under 400 units that's owned. While I'm telling you that, just giving you some background on myself, if you're just now coming across me, not perfect by any means, and I still make mistakes to this day, which I share those, and also the successes as well, which I make more errors than that. So one of the things that we went to in our conversation was the scarcity versus the abundance mindset. And meaning, let's think of it in the context of real estate on the deals. And this principle can even be applied outside of that, but we'll just use in the industry itself, is that having the abundance mindset, meaning that there is tons of opportunities that is, whether that's single families or apartments out there, versus a scarcity side that there's only a limited supply and there's just too much competition for that supply, meaning that you are just going to stand on the sidelines because it's just not the right time to buy. However, if you have the abundance mindset, that you'll realize that there's plenty of deals out there and everyone can have their slice of the pie. So these are things that I have been learning myself through self-improvement, listening to the Earl Nightingales, the Jim Rohns, the Zig Ziglars, the Tony Robbins. And another segue that we went into was overcoming obstacles, because some people look at those as, yes, there are problems to be solved, but let that be a barrier. So the very first deal that I put together at 23 years old, further along in the process, the tenants actually started subleasing the property, meaning that they moved out and moved someone else in without even letting me know. It was a complete nightmare, and had to evict the new tenants that weren't even on the lease. So very interesting. Actually tried to work things out, but it didn't work out. So I had to evict them and they weren't even on the lease. So instead of giving up and saying real estate's not for me, decided to take, okay, well, that's just one problem to be solved. Okay, let me just keep figuring things out versus just ultimately quitting then and there and just saying that it's just not going to be a good fit. I actually ended up purchasing the property right across the street from that, and then had to do some workouts in terms of that tenant was as soon as purchasing it, starting to get behind on rent. So those were my first experiences, but still ended up weathering through the storm. And still there are some storms and fires that come, but that's just how it is at the end of the day. It's just about solving problems. That's just me doing experience share. And comment below on how you perceive the scarcity versus the abundance mindset. And also let me know where you are from as well. So greatly appreciate everyone who's on these, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be able to be informed moving forward. And then also I have the mentorship program. So go ahead and comment below if you want more details on that, or just simply slide into the DM. So have a great one. Keep being awesome. Thank you. All right. All right.